confused. You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dog.
Don't Unfriend Me Nation. What are we?
Hey, Matt, congratulations on your success, brother. And I really appreciate you giving, both sides, and just free speech, the opportunity to have a platform, dude.
Got it. You got it. Thanks for everything you've done for this country, Eli. We'll talk next time. Tell Jen hello, and I'll have this ready in a couple of hours, and you can share it and take a look. Thank you, man.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Bye-bye.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Weird. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show.
Oh, it worked this time.
I know. Mine went backwards. Mine says weird.
I know. Mine went backwards, but it's fine now. Oh, wait, that's Spreely. Never mind. Hang on.
Test.
Uh-oh. Yep, it goes backwards.
That is Instagram is they just released this and it's obviously struggling. Good to have whoever's on Instagram. If you're on, say hello. Say it backwards. We'll figure it out. Olivia, you're coming in hot.
Sorry.
I'll say on Instagram, Olivia's center stage.
She is in the middle.
Yeah.
Like it should be.
You're the only one that's on Instagram, so it's the Olivia show.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's the way that goes.
Yep.
See, they only broadcast in you know what we need to do? We just need to pump that in as through the phone.
Yeah.
You know? So what we would have to do is this. And you know what? And I think this is okay. Liv, let me know what you think about this.
Okay.
So if we do... What if we did that? And like that. We'll have to shrink it down a little bit. You know, and I don't want to keep doing this, but, you know, people are going to come on Instagram. What if we did that? Is that okay? That's what we did on the live show.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah,
and that shows
Instagram that works.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and we can actually, we can make this thing because we don't want to bother Olivia's, you know. See, I'll be the left booby, and you can be the right booby. And there we go. So I'm a nipple. You're a nipple. Wouldn't you want to be a nipple too? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show.
We're starting early.
You're coming in hot too. So I think let me adjust the cameras a little bit.
I was going to say a hot mic, if you will. But
yeah, that's what it was.
Gotcha.
Let me see. I'm going to bring you down a little bit.
You bring me down every time I see you.
Shut up. Is the kitchen light on, dude? Look over there.
It is.
Okay, tell the retards to turn off the kitchen light.
Hey, kids, can one of you guys turn off the kitchen light?
I didn't tell you to call them kids. I told you to call them the right thing.
Did you turn on the fan?
They're like, my dad didn't say that. He would never call us kids. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. We got a whole bunch on. It's going to be a great night. I got a feeling it's going to be a good night. I've got some stuff that nobody else is talking about. I love it when we find something that nobody else is talking about. And the conservatives haven't latched onto this, but all of us are Harry Potter fans. All of us are Harry Potter fans. Did they turn off the kitchen light?
They did.
You're still coming in bright. Let me find out why. No. Let's do that. Hold on. It's amazing. It's not like we've changed anything. I mean, seriously. That's dark. That's just weird. Ask one of the little minions to come here, will you, buddy?
To you or to me?
To me.
Minions,
and then move your mic.
See your dad?
And then move the mic a little closer to your mouth so we can get this fixed.
Okay, how's that?
That's much better. Now we just need
Perfect.
to fix your glowing, shining face because it's very, very bright. And we're gonna. Hey, bud, do me a favor. The light that's on Mike's left, I want you to grab it in the middle, and I want you to turn it counterclockwise. So rotate it to the left, okay? And I'm gonna yell at you and tell you when to stop, and then you're gonna run back here and close the door, okay? He's sick, so he's being...
Yeah. Are you talking the big light
his
or the little
other
one?
left. The other side, hon.
This side.
That's white for me.
Okay, I don't care. This is about me. You should know. The center of the universe is me, son. Okay, and kind of turn that light away a little bit. Is he turning it, Mike?
Yep, we're turning it. Tell me when.
Stop. That looks... Tell him to bring it back a little bit.
Come back a little bit.
And good. There it is.
Right there.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Tell him to come back and close the door, and then he's Audi 5000. And then, thanks, buddy.
Don't close it all the way, bud.
You're the bomb, yo. There we go. That you look really good, Mike. Thanks, buddy. All right. And bring that up just a tad. And a little cooler. And there we go. See, folks, this is what real time. This is what we do. All right. So we got 150. Holy shit. What is going on?
Me.
What do you mean you? What did you do?
My face.
It's all Instagram.
What is going on?
I'm the face of the show now.
First of all, thanks everyone for being on. We better just get to the show.
They want to listen to my sexy
Okay,
voice
I don't think so. They're gonna leave if we keep this up. So let's get this going. First of all, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. This is kind of new to us. We got Instagram turned on, which is great because Meta obviously trusts us. Usually you have to be a pro member. We're not pro members, and they gave us the ability to be live. So to my Instagram followers, I love my Instagram followers. I'll be honest with you. Instagram is one of the least drama-filled places. I go there, I put my videos up. You guys just watch them. I love you for it. Thank you. So we're live. If you, hopefully they fix this and they allow 16:9. Otherwise, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring it, make my phone be a fourth camera. And we'll set it up and we'll pump Instagram through that. Now, you won't get to see the videos and such, but you'll get to hear us, which really that's all that matters. A lot going on in the world today. We've got a video for you that's going to blow you away. We watched today on the Matt and Mike show in the morning. We didn't have a show, but we did a recorded about what makes a man a man. We played it at 3:00. So unfortunately, that was like the worst hour to play it. So if you haven't seen it, go over there and watch it. Give it a like. Get it boosted for us. And then yesterday morning, Mike, we did a movie called Civil War. We broke down that cacophony of crap.
The wonderful, wonderful Civil War.
Yeah, and tonight, listen, the American Society of Magical Negroes.
Yep, this is going to be a one.
I guess I can say it now. I mean, I guess I can say it. The NAACP is colored people, and the United Negro College Fund, you can say. But white people aren't supposed to say that, but I guess we're supposed to because there's the new movie coming out, and that's the name of the movie. And how are we supposed to talk about the movie unless I say it? What am I supposed to say? The N-word? No. So that's the movie. And if it sounds ridiculous, trust me, it is. Wait till you see the trailer. It is, Mike's not happy.
The trailer is going to make any Harry Potter fan, like, to make their blood boil. It is so infuriating.
Goose Fraba. Bring that mic closer, buddy. You got to eat that thing. Just bring that sucker up. It's a.
All right, here we go.
That's much better.
Well, it's also one of those, probably trying not to yell because this is going to, I'm going to throw a leg at something tonight.
Well, I think you should. InfoWars and Sandy Hook. Alex Jones is, everyone says, oh, he's a victim. He's okay. You know what? I'm done with this crap. I'm going to give you his testimony and you're going to hear it. And I'm sick of this. Alex Jones screwed up. Okay. Period. And anyone that sits here and is defending him right now over it, it makes me sick. He should be on Twitter. He shouldn't be banned. Free speech is important, but free speech isn't free, especially when it's slander. And you're presenting something as truth that's not true. So
I don't even know who Alex Jones is.
Well, we're going to cover it. You're going to see it tonight. So you're going to learn something. Hi, Tammy Hines. And then we're covering, what else are we covering? Liv, do you remember?
We are covering, I don't remember. I'm
Gummy
sorry.
bears.
Oh, yes.
Gummy bears. What about gummy bears?
Fentanyl was found in gummy bears in an elementary school.
Remember when all the left were like, oh, it's not in candy. This is just exaggerated. This is fake. It's not in candy. Whatever. Worried about
Virginia.
Are you sure these weren't assault gummy bears?
Were they
high capacity gummy bears?
Yes. They were fully semi-automatic gummy bears.
Gummy bears. Okay. Just want to make sure we got it right.
Okay, and if anyone's wondering why we have two pictures down here on Olivia's side, because Instagram is only goes in portrait mode. So unfortunately, until we figure out what the hell to do with that, we're going to put us here. Now, if we switch to the other camera, listen, folks, Instagram, you're not that important yet. We love you, but we're not going to change the entire feed for you yet. Just kidding.
Instagram is great for reels and memes.
Yeah, so this show is like this show. There's no conservative channels talking about any of this because they're not going to bash on Alex Jones, and we're not going to bash on him. We're just going to tell you the truth. But this movie, should we start there, or should we lead up to this and just slowly? Should we just rip the Band-Aid off, or should we?
Let's put our feet to the fire. Let's do it.
Holy crap! I mean, I thought we should save this, but I guess we're just gonna.
Was that supposed to be a leg joke there, Mikey?
I don't know. Would you say it was a toss-up, a little softball for you guys?
That was really bad. That was really bad.
It was horrible.
If I was in the mob, I would kneecap you. I would kneecap you. Not that it would do any good.
Wait. That was
round one. Look at that.
Hey, Mike, I'd tell you to break a leg, but you've already done it. Break two. So
I'm pretty good at that.
Fun?
If you need any advice.
We invited Mike over for Thanksgiving, but we realized we couldn't split him down the middle, so we just said, forget it. So, folks,
so good.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm a little perplexed. You know what? I can't do it right away. I gotta say hello to some of the fans. We've got 100 and this is a huge show. We've got a shite ton of people on. Darren Dabb says Navy veteran arrested for destroying satanic statue that was in Iowa State House. This is true. Yep. This guy's a vet. He decapitated Satan. And you know what? Why don't we talk about that for a second?
Well,
what do you think?
So, and this is where, are you really a proponent of free speech?
Right.
If you are, then why are you touching that? If you want to speak out against it, great. But unless there's something in that state house that says you can't have any type of religious artifacts up, why are you touching that? Now you're just stooping to the level of everybody else. So go there, do your little Instagram reel of why this is horrible being up there, and you leave it alone. Now you're just a piece of shit who's defaming freaking other people's property.
Satan. So
doesn't matter.
Olivia, do you have a take on this? A quick take on this? It's pretty simple. Guy's a veteran. I don't know why they keep saying he's a veteran. Who cares? But he's a veteran, and he decapitated a satanic statue outside of State House and literally cut its head off.
You shouldn't be vandalizing property. Period. I don't care what it is.
Well, let me put it in a hypothetical. Because Satan is evil, and we all agree Satan's evil.
Unless you watch Lucifer.
Right.
And then he's kind of a cool guy.
Right, but that's like watching the Ted Bundy Netflix special. All the liberal chicks loved him too, and I'm like, you idiots. Here's what it comes down to: Beelzebub, the Prince of Darkness, Lucifer, Azrael. Did I say Beelzebub?
Yes.
The
Diablo. How could you
Diablo,
forget that one?
Diablo.
How could you forget
You're
that
right,
one?
Diablo, the imprinter of the Necronomicon. Excuse me, I apologize. That is evil, and we understand that, and evil incarnate. But so is an abortion clinic. And what is to say that you can't just blow up an abortion clinic because you don't like it? You have to understand is the attention that you're giving to this on the national stage is actually doing Satan more good than harm, because now people are going to defend it. And if you just would have left it alone, nobody would have cared because it's been there forever.
Yes.
And my thoughts are this, is that false idols and ceremonial type garb or iconic values of deities is against God's credo and credence anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't be worshiping false idols. And whether that be the Hollywood sign, whether that be the almighty dollar or some statue of Beelzebub. So, you've got to pick and choose your battles here. And in my opinion, if we're going to have Lady Justice, if we're going to have the American flag, and we're going to have Christ or the 10 Commandments, then you got to allow a statue of Beelzebub.
Absolutely.
You don't have to like it. I don't like it. But that doesn't mean that I get to destroy public property. There's a proper process. You go to city council, you have it removed, you vote on it, we use the law. We're not a bunch of vigilantes. So
was this on government property?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, federal property.
They can't,
state and federal.
And didn't they do separation of church and state where they can't have the 10 Commandments and all that on there? So
correct. But once again, 10 Commandments, but I'll have to look this up and find out which state this was. Mikey, what state was this? Livy?
Let me look.
Let's look it up, because I just saw this and I was going to write an article on it, and I was like, you know what? Then I saw the School of Magical Negroes and I was like, what in the shit is this? And that took all my attention. Trust me, it's going to take yours too. When you see this video, you guys are going to shit your pants. Pardon my French. But I'm like sitting here going, and I've got two takes. I've got the left and the right side, not politically.
Iowa.
It was okay. Well,
the Iowa Capitol.
I bet you $100 that Iowa put some sort of legislation in that allowed deities and statues and made some, because it's not a federal mandate. They have a statewide, maybe on federal buildings they can't, but statewide they can. And they put some sort of legislation that protected it. So the Satanic Church of Lucifer or whatever decided to put that statue up there. And I bet you $1 billion that's exactly what happened. And they have to let them. So that's what I would assume. Because I remember reading something about this, but that they had to allow the Satanic Temple to put a statue of Lucifer up there too. So we wouldn't want anyone decapitating Jesus Christ. And it's not the same thing. And I'm not here to compare Jesus and the Prince of Darkness. But my point is that we are free in this society to practice whatever religion we want. There's no official English language. There's no official religion. People are like, well, Christian ethics were implemented into the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. Yes, but The founding fathers had every ability to make a national religion, and they chose not to. And the reason why they chose not to is because freedom of religion is pretty huge. Hold on. I keep getting hit by YouTube.
For what?
Oh, these guys are such clowns. It's okay. I will challenge. They keep hitting me with copyright, and it's not bad. It's just the music that I use in my my reels. Occasionally, other people use it, and then I show the video, and then I get hit with copyright. Then I just submit. I send my legal notice. I have a beautiful legal, 1,800 page or 1,800 word legal jargon that our lawyer got us, and they just immediately back off. All right, so that's my feeling on that. We can research this a little bit more. Dummies can educate us. By the way, this is their first time on the show. The Dummies is the Don't Unfriend Me Nation. Don't take it personal. It's kind of like Barstool Sports has Stoolies. We have the Dummies, which stands for the Don't Unfriend Me's. You're not dumb. We're not saying you're dumb, but we've all been called worse. We've been called racist, Nazi, xenophobic, homophobic, deplorable, gun-grabbing, Bible-thumping, flyover state, uneducated party Nazis. I think we can handle dummies. And if you can't, Hillary Clinton has a few more choice words for you. If you are having trouble with the feed, leave and come back. That happens. And otherwise, let's just rock and roll. If you have any questions, 1-804-212-2208, you can call us live. If you would like to, that's an easy thing. You can also email me, owner@don'tunfriendme.com. We'll get you on the show. Would love to have you on here if you would like to. Let's set the clock because we are going to punch in and get to work. We have got George Bush, the math for me. I'm seeing 1 hour and 34 minutes on the clock before we have to pop smoke. If we get to it early, we will. Let's get to the movie. Listen, folks, I just want to be transparent with you. There is not a racist bone. I'm the least racist person in the world. Huge. I have a horrible Donald. Listen, I can't do Donald Trump. I haven't even tried, but I could do Bill Clinton. I am the least racist person in the world. I will let any woman, person of color, BIPOC, twat cock. It doesn't matter. Anybody can come and sit on my willy. You can play my saxophone anytime. So,
Jesus.
No, Bill Clinton, but close enough.
Many women thought that apparently.
Yeah, I guess they did. So,
They liked him to play the saxophone.
I am the least racist human being in the world. I don't care. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what sex you are. The only thing I look at is when I look at you is, will this person have my back in a situation that I need them to? And if the answer is yes, you are my brother, you are my sister. If it's no, you're worthless to me. Just get the hell out of my life. Okay? Doesn't matter what color you are. We were talking about Mike. We accept him in our family. We usually don't allow black people from the waist down in our family, but here he is. This video, I feel two ways. I'm going to shut up and let you watch it in its entirety. Prepare to be pissed, disgusted, offended, and then try to make excuses for it, because it's really cool that we went with the Beelzebub story, because this is free speech and you have to stand by it or you don't. Let's see which one you do. Here it is. Merry Christmas. Oh, I'm going to flip the sound before I hit it because I know and I've learned my lesson.
You remembered. You remembered.
I remembered. I did good.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
No, you did not hear that wrong. Don't adjust your television. Your uncomfortability is actually essential to this conversation. Continue to watch.
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron. Watching you walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I don't want to take you to a job interview.
There's a recruiting class starting right now, and we got to get you in it.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
I don't really understand.
It's easier to show you. What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Shark.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable. White people feeling uncomfortable precedes a lot of bad stuff for us.
That's why we fight white discomfort every day. Because the happier they are, the safer we are.
The name needs a little updating, maybe like magical black people, or I guess that doesn't have the same ring.
You ready?
Oh, wow.
Your first client is a Jason Munn. His morale is far too low.
Hey.
Hey.
Darn it. I was hoping there was a station right next to him.
Oh, is this one spoken for?
No.
Yeah, it's actually fun and weirdly relaxing. It's like being a secret agent with none of the danger.
Hey, I'm Lizzie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She's great.
Yeah, she's cool.
You kidding? Come on, man. She's smart and funny.
I know what you were doing going on about her. You're trying to set us up.
No, that's not what I was doing.
You cannot have a relationship with Lizzie now. Because if you don't put Jason first, everyone's magic will fail.
I've always felt like it's my job to make white people feel comfortable, and here it literally is. But maybe it shouldn't be.
I got a great plan to ask her out, but I'm gonna need your help.
Do you think you could, like, work your magic?
Hey, is he talking about me?
Hey.
Oh my God. Wait, are you?
But I've traveled a long way.
Someone defied the society. Who was it?
If you didn't let her go like I told you, if you interfere with her or your client, you could have your memory erased. You won't even remember she existed.
Even though we might never see each other again, I need you to know that what we had was real.
I'm curious to see how you gonna make it out of all this.
Holy shit, who wants to go first? Oh, the first thing I'm going to say, though, before I hand it over, because I feel the need, and I am going to make an Instagram video of this because it's important. A classic story of wonder, romance, and racial division. I'm going to play the first intro until they get to that first part where they say white people uncomfortable, and then I'm going to cut in. That'll be made tomorrow. Who wants to go first? Because I've got a take that none of you have.
Mike's jumping. Go for it,
Mike, go for it, buddy. Talk to us.
All right. So first of all, if you didn't know, like I am a big Harry Potter fan. Leave Harry Potter alone. Like that is one of the stories, and I know people are all pissed off at J.K. Rowling because the whole gay thing that she said, and I forget exactly what it was, but it's like that one story, like the entire storyline, it has nothing about race or trying to divide anyone. It's literally just a story, and anyone and everyone can see that, enjoy it, and love it. But then you get shit like this.
Oh shit.
To where you're trying to come in and pull the frickin' race card and like, oh look, we're gonna do this magical thing and trying to get people interested in it. And then it's like, oh, who's the problem? Oh, these white people. And and if I go into a room, I make white people uncomfortable just because there's a black person in a room. Like, are you that freaking ignorant that you think that's what it is? Maybe a bunch of white liberals. Maybe that's how it works. But nowhere do I go in a room like, oh, there's black people. So I'm like, oh no, like I'm so uncomfortable. I'm like, if you're that uncomfortable, maybe you're the freaking problem, not the rest of us. But you want to keep saying it's us and we're the problem. Leave Harry Potter alone. And if you want to do your stupid propaganda BS, like, do it somewhere else. Now, I know the other side is like, hey, again, back to the free speech. If they want to do this, great. But this is where it's like, just off of the trailer for this, like, don't go watch this, don't support this, don't give any money to this, because I hope this thing freaking tanks and they waste a shit ton of money on this. But of course, it's probably George Soros or some billionaire who's funding this, so they don't care if they lose any money. But it's like, this is the shit. Along with I think it's the Left Behind movie that just came out that the Obamas helped. They had a similar line in there to where it's like, oh, we can't trust the white people. So more movies keep coming out to where they're putting all these undertones in there, where they just keep feeding it at us. And now we'll see if there anything else keeps coming out. But I keep noticing it more and more that is the little lines they're trying to do. Like, oh, don't trust the white people. We can't do this anymore. Like, it's getting freaking infuriating.
Matt's gonna explode.
Yes, Matt.
Go ahead, Olivia.
Is it so hard,
You're
Matt?
gonna explode.
No, because if we don't allow you to, you're not gonna have anything to say.
Okay.
Because that's all I'll say to Mike's entire rant.
I can't even see it.
Says no.
No.
This will be the first time that Mike and I disagree on camera. Vehemently.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
fervently disagree, which is going to be great because I'm excited about it because he's right, but he's also wrong, and I'll be right, and I'll also be wrong. Olivia, what's your take?
The sad thing about this is this movie is probably going to make more money and be shown in every single theater.
Yep.
Than Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, you're absolutely. That's a great take.
I mean, they're not that. The whole point of Sound of Freedom is about truth, and we still need to watch it. By the way, it's a true story. It's what's happening, and it was shut down. But this shit is gonna be pushed forward, and it's gonna be shown everywhere.
It'll be the new Black Panther.
It's just really, really sad. No, we're not going to let our children go watch that.
That is a wonderful take, by the way, Olivia, because it's so. Why do they keep blocking my stuff? Come on, YouTube. Which one now? Oh, well, I'll just hit it later. Okay. Okay, first of all, here's my take. What are you talking about? Harry Potter was all about race. First of all, there was only one black kid in the entire school. That's number one. Number two, you had racial cleansing from half-bloods. Non-magical folk were called muggles. You might as well drop the N-word in front of it. And they were trying to be eradicated by a Nazi Hitler-based figure in Voldemort. The whole fucking movie was about race. So I disagree. And I know this is uncomfortable. This is really uncomfortable. It's the first time we've done this, but we're going to have to just grin and bear it, bite down on the wood. It'll all be over in a second. The second thing I will say is when I first saw this, I was so fervently pissed. I'm like, this is reverse racism. It is. This sets more divide in this country, which it does. And even though I am going to exploit it and make an amazing reel that's going to eclipse any reel I've ever done, I can't condemn this movie. And it's not because it's freedom of speech, and it's not because it's good. It's because Blazing Saddles. We have been making fun of black people for decades. Eddie Murphy did it, made fun of his own people. We did it in Blazing Saddles. We've used people as punchlines and jokes. And if we can't have a sense of humor about our whiteness and laugh, then who the fuck are we? Blazing Saddles is one of my favorite movies of all times. And I have to say that Django Unchained is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it has more racial epitaphs in it than any movie I've ever seen. But if I get to stand behind Blazing Saddles, which was Mel Brooks' kiss of death, which they called him a shyster, they called him a Jew, they called him, all the things that they called Brooks for doing Blazing Saddles, it was single-handedly, in my opinion, one of the greatest movies ever that brought all races up to the chopping block, including dumb white hick cowboys, Irish, Chinese, black, Jew, Gentile. It didn't matter who you were. Gay people. Mel Brooks went after everybody. And
is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true.
Matt, hold on, I'm not done.
I think there's.
I'm not done. I didn't interrupt you. Let me finish.
It's true.
You can crush me in a second. So my point is this movie Blazing Saddles? No. It's not. And was Black Panther the greatest action movie, superhero movie? No, it's a piece of shit. I think Black Panther was the dumbest movie ever. I hate Michael B. Jordan. I thought it was stupid. I couldn't stand Black Panther. But the black community went behind it, and honestly, good for them. Because I swear to God, folks, if we can't let the African-American community make fun of white people a little bit, then we're making a mistake. I don't like the name. I don't like that it's treading on Harry Potter. But if you're going to offend white people, I tell you what, you only had a few choices. One is John Denver songs. Two is Harry Potter. And three would be Abraham Lincoln. I don't know, but the fact that they went after Harry Potter was very purposeful, but it is a comedy. And we've got to learn to laugh at ourselves just a little bit, okay? It doesn't, the whole point of the movie, folks, is that white people get uncomfortable with black things. Well, guess what? This is a black thing, and everybody's uncomfortable about the joke about it, which shows that it's kind of true just a little bit. All right, I'm done. I've said my piece, and now, Michael, go ahead.
All right, so I think, to me, you already explained it with Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
They went after everybody.
Yeah.
Just off of this trailer, this is solely blacks going after whites. Unless the movie comes out and it's like there's more to it. That's what they're showing so far.
They called the sheriff the N-word like 76 times in Blazing Saddles. Yes, they went after Irish. Yes, they went after Jews, but it was very small, right? The whole premise of the movie was making fun of a black cop in a white racist town where everybody's named Smith. It was pretty much black and white.
This is where, like, yes, we have to be able to go out and joke with each other and do all that. But do you honestly trust that they're doing this in a joking way, that they just want to have fun, make a little light of what's going on, and just make a good comedy? Or are they actually doing this to incite these reactions and do this in a way that they're continuing the trend of this division?
Because good question.
Seeing this, I don't see that as we're just having fun, and like, hey, we brought in Kevin Hart because like he's freaking amazing, or Chris Rock, and now let's make something that's going to be funny that they can do that.
The title.
And it's actually a joke.
All I can tell you is the title. Like the title tells me that they're being vulnerable with this. I mean, do you think the black community is comfortable with the title of this movie?
I don't know.
I don't. I think the black community isn't going to be okay with being called Negroes. I think that is extremely controversial, and I will have to see how the comedy is done. But from the trailer, like, I don't want to participate, but I'm going to watch this thing. And I'm going to watch this thing because I want to see if it's what you said. Because if this is about racial division and racial division alone, because inside of it, there was also a rom-com with a black kid dating a white girl. And to me, if this was going to be about racial division, you certainly wouldn't make the love interest story between Jungle Fever. Liv, you bring sanity to the conversation.
Okay. So I'm not a racist person either. But
however,
struck Matt.
However,
here's the whole premise of why she actually is a racist.
I'm not racist. I don't feel uncomfortable if I see a black person at the store or on the street or whatever. I don't feel uncomfortable. But way back when, before we had kids, I worked in an apartment community. And one of my coworkers was pregnant and invited me to the baby shower. Well, she was black, and she invited everyone at the office.
This is a good story.
I was the only one who went. And she lived in a pretty much 100% black neighborhood. She lived on Martin Luther King Boulevard. And I was the only white person at this baby shower. And there was at least 75 people there. And I wasn't uncomfortable because it was black people. I was uncomfortable by the way I was treated. And the stares, some people, no one was like, didn't call me any names or was horrible, but there were people who wouldn't talk to me. There were people who would just kind of look me up and down and then go the other way. But there were several people that were very, very nice and welcoming. But I was pretty much uncomfortable the whole time I was there.
Let me ask you a question from playing the devil's advocate. Do you think it's possible that some of the black people that were there felt just as uncomfortable as you? Having a white girl in a situation where they had never had a white girl in a situation before? Is it? I mean,
I don't know. I seriously, I don't know. I don't know. I was in my 20s and I was pretty young back then. So.
Yeah, listen, I think everyone has those stories, right? And I think if you ask black people, how many times have you felt uncomfortable in a white scenario? They have a hell of a lot more than us, right? But I remember going down in Virginia, down in lower Ashburn, right in the border of Fairfax, And I went into a barbershop. It was an all-black barbershop, and I walked in and nobody talked to me. Nobody took my name. Nobody said anything. And I knew that that's not the way black barbershops work. You have to say something. It's not racial. Everybody. Hey, what's going on? You guys are here to get a haircut. And then everybody's like, hey, what's going on? That's the way black barbershops work. But if you've never been in a black barbershop, you're thinking this is about my whiteness. So you'd walk out. I think that this is why we have to stop pretending that everybody's the same. Black people and white people are not the same in any way, shape, or form. They are different in very, very, very different ways. From a cultural standpoint, extremely different. But even from a metaphysical standpoint, a physical standpoint, anatomical standpoint, black people and white people are different. But it doesn't mean that we're different in the sense that we're different because one is less or one is more or one is... No. It's not that. It's that there is different things that black people go through than white people go through. And there's different music, there's different food, there's different styles. And it's like saying that the Chinese people and Americans don't have anything. Of course they do. It's okay to say that there's differences between black people and white people. The point is when those differences become a stopping point in respect or giving someone the acknowledgement of their individual rights. When we do that, then there's a problem. But I can say that out of 100 races, I could race Fat Albert and I would probably lose. Black people can run at an incredible rate and are extremely athletic. And I am a white, slow guy. White men can't jump. That movie was racial. It basically said white people can't jump. Nobody fucking flipped out over that. Jungle Fever. Well, they did actually. White men can't jump created a lot of controversy. Jungle Fever created a lot of controversy. Hell, Glory created controversy. There's nothing wrong with controversy. I think the problem is that white people do get uncomfortable when they are called out, and they're so sensitive to it because we don't feel this way, that the people that do feel this way, it's a scar on us, that we have to somehow wear the chain of slavery as slaveholders because there were people who did horrible things who were white. I can only compare it to January 6th. I think a lot of people are pissed because certain people did something on January 6th that was wrong, and all Trump supporters have been lumped in. If you can understand that, you can understand the microcosm of the way white people have white guilt because of what happened to African Americans. We need to get over this shit. Maybe this movie brings to light that we can actually admit that when we see a black person walking down the street, that we go to the other side. And if you don't, you're a fucking liar. You're a liar. Because you and I both know some guy's sagging. He's wearing a Fila fucking hoodie, and he's, walking with his hands in his pocket, and he's got a strut with two of his buddies, and my wife and I are walking across. You tell me we're not going to duck into a store? You tell me we're not going to walk to the side? Yes, you would. But you know what? I would do the same thing if it was a white guy who is meth-laden with no teeth. It's not always about race. We've got to challenge these stereotypes. We've got to hit them, and maybe comedy is the way we do it. And yes, maybe it makes people uncomfortable. Mike, what else?
Well, say being uncomfortable is a good thing, but a lot of this, and like this is where I go back to the military, where it's like, hey, you literally have everyone, and guess what? We were never uncomfortable. The only time you get uncomfortable if you knew someone's coming in and you're going to get your ass whooped because you did something.
You're right. You're right.
Past that, you can literally have anyone there and it doesn't freaking matter.
True.
But there's so many people who have never got out of their little shell or their little community and gone anywhere and experienced anything. So like, oh, well, in my little neck of the woods, like this is all I know. I'm like, okay, great. Like you need to experience other cultures. So you'd be like, oh, hey, yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is how they do it down in the South versus the Northeast, or down in the South or Southwest, and like in Arizona. Everything is completely different. If you want to go down there with the Hispanics, that's going to be a lot different than you go up in the Northeast with a bunch of preppy people. Like everyone has their own cultures and how they do things. Learn about them, and guess what? I don't like the Northeast. Like that's not my cup of tea. But you have to learn that and understand like, hey, there is nothing wrong with it. It's just a different way that people live. Like that's why I love the mountains. That's where I go. But guess what? There's a lot of people that want to live on the beach. There's nothing wrong with it, but everyone just lives a little bit differently. So I would love, and one thing I thought of when we were talking about the movie and Kevin Hart, if they do make a movie, he has to be Dobby. Because I think that would be the funniest thing in the world. having a little Kevin Hart freaking rolling around as Dobby. I think that would be sweet. So if we can put that out there, Kevin Hart, go make the freaking movie. Go be Dobby.
Maybe they can do the magical world of Negroes too.
There was a good comment on YouTube.
Was it the one where someone busted my nuts for saying Fila? Because
No.
if I'm really old, I would have said Kangol. And second of all, it's the same reason I would say the mafia wears tracksuits, because nobody does anymore and nobody wears Fila anymore. And I'm not trying to offend people. That's why. So, listen, I grew up in the barrio. I grew up in the neighborhoods. I don't care what color you are. If you walk across the street and you look like a threat, I'm going to move. But it's not because you're black. I don't feel that way towards black people. I look for threats. I don't look for skin color. Mike's right. I got through the military, for God's sake. Okay. We all got through it during mess week, because you're working with every single color for 18 hours a day, and tempers get hot, and any animosity that you have towards another race, color, or creed, that shit's going to work itself out. Trust me.
Do some open bay showers with 80 dudes of every race,
When
color,
you're nut to
religion.
butt.
You'll get over it
Yep.
real quick.
When you're nut to butt at 0500 and that water is Chicago, Illinois cold in February, you know what? You love a man's buttocks close to you because you get to stay warm. So, and just like working on buds and in San Diego and Coronado, you have no problem with a guy peeing on you, because if it's that or hypothermia, you'll take the urine. The military is a different thing. And Mike, the one thing I will say is the reason why it's cohesive is because everybody is the same color in the military. You're either green or you're blue. That's it. You're green or blue. There is no other color. And for anyone to assume that if color is brought into it, you're going to be pushing gravity in a New York second. It's just not talked about. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that person knows how to shine their shoe and doesn't make you guys abandon ship where you're doing push-ups and sit-ups till freaking 04. Because if that guy comes in, you're not calling him a racial epitaph. You're giving him a blanket party. Liv?
Yep.
So the comment was the whole concept of this movie was based off a Dave Chappelle skit, which I don't remember it. I thought we watched all of them.
Yeah.
This skit was called The Magical Negro.
Yeah, I remember.
And the person who said this, his name's Dwarby, said, "I'm black," and we loved it.
Yep.
Now it looks to be nasty towards white people, which ruins the comedy of it.
It does, but it doesn't at the same time because there's truth in it.
You said it was Dave Chappelle?
Yes.
Yeah, because I've seen all of Dave Chappelle's stuff. I don't remember.
I've seen them all. I don't remember this one.
But for some reason, was it in Living Color? Was it in something else? Listen to me. I agree it's nasty towards white people. Okay? Blazing Saddles was pretty fucking nasty towards black people. Can we just be transparent? During that time of racial and civil unrest, it wasn't very kind to black people, but it really wasn't kind to anybody. I agree with you. When I see black people, I don't get uncomfortable, but there are plenty of white people who do. And let's be honest, okay? Olivia didn't see a black person until she left Montana, because there weren't any black people there.
The first black family moved when I was in 6th or 7th grade.
And she sat there, "Mom, Dad, what's that?"
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I was trying to bring it back.
Matthew Spear.
I was trying to bring it back to but I grew up with a black best friend, and I grew up with guys who were in Rolling 60s and 21st Street, but I also grew up with rich kids too, who were considered to be the socias, and the greasers too. I mean, we had everything.
Hayden's first little boyfriend in kindergarten was black.
Yeah, so what did I do? It was simple. I put on a sheet. I burned a cross when he came to my house. Of course not. No, I embraced him. And I treated him cute. And he was adorable little shit. And I treated him like a part of the family. And then he broke our heart. So, listen, this show is humor. This show makes fun of everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Transvestite, gay, straight, white, Catholic, Christian, Presbyterian, Mormon. It doesn't matter. Whoever you are, we're going to make fun of you because
2 legs, no legs,
right. No legs, whatever it is. And that's there's humor in that. And I think it's okay. Listen, is this challenging? Yeah. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that there's unarmed shootings in the United States of an epidemic proportion, because there's not. There's more people who are killed by a free-flowing hammer in a car accident than there are unarmed black shootings. Projectiles in cars that are unsecured, like propane tanks or a hammer or a large book, have killed more people in a car accident than unarmed black shootings in the last 5 years. So you just need to stop this narrative. But are there not stereotypes? Are there not prejudice when it comes to our legal system and our healthcare system? Yes, there are. And if you don't think that there are, you're crazy. Listen, folks, I've said it before on this show. Would you want to be black? Then shut the fuck up. If I ask you, would you want to be a millionaire? Yes. Would you want to be a millionaire? Yes. Okay. Would you want to be a woman for a day? Hell yes, I would. I'd never leave the bedroom.
I've always wondered what it would be like to be a guy.
Right. I'd be like Christopher Columbus, man. I'd be exploring this fucking, yes.
No,
Would
I like being
it?
standing up. I would never want to do that.
But standing up, come on, dude. So
leaning.
So would you want to do this? Would you want to do this? Would you want to be in Harry Potter world for everyone say, would you want to be black? The answer is no, hell no, not a chance. Because every single white person knows that it's different. And it's a hard lesson. You don't get the talk. Women get the talk. African Americans get the talk. Gays and lesbians get the talk. White people don't get the talk. White men don't get the talk. You know what talk we get now? Don't rape white women and wear a condom. Don't put your dick where it's not supposed to. If somebody says no, walk away. That's the talk we get. We don't get a talk that says, if you ever are pulled over by a cop, this is what you do. If you ever get cornered by five, go ahead.
That's where I think parents are failing, because I've had that talk. And granted, my dad was a cop. So like, to me, that should be universal for everybody. If you get pulled over, you don't freaking lip off. You don't do all this crap because stuff can happen. Like,
it's not what I'm talking about, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the talk I'm talking about. I'm talking about the talk of, if you get pulled over by a white police officer, you don't get lippy because you might get a bigger ticket. You don't get lippy because you might get your car impounded. You don't get lippy because you might be eating a fucking nightstick for dinner. There's a very big difference between the talk you're talking about with respect to authority and show deference and respect and don't say anything because you'll be drinking through a straw if you don't. We're not that far removed from that, right? I mean, you're talking, it still happens sometimes, but we're 25, 30 years removed from that talk that took place, that you could be swinging from an end of a tree if you got lippy with the wrong type of cop when you're driving through Georgia. That's fresh in people's minds. Is that fair?
I mean, that's fair, but it's still, if you would go in and act a certain way, it would never get to that point. And if it does, then now it's now on those other officers that need to put that person in check. Correct. And on that police department, it's like, if you're allowing this person to stay on the force, now that's your problem. And you need to freaking deal with that. So
I agree.
To me, it's yes and no.
That's why we don't have systemic racism anymore, because it's not allowed to live. It's checked by HR. It's checked by your neighbors. It's checked by your coworkers. We understand this. But my point is that we're not far removed from it. Like, okay, does 9/11 still sting?
Yes.
I mean, I want to say yes, but I'm going to say for most people it doesn't. And most people,
but I know, but for us, but for us, we're a different a breed of people who have military ties. We've seen the impact. You sit next to me every single day. We know the ties. We've seen brothers eat bullets over it. Does 9/11 still make an impact on you?
On me, yeah.
Well, it's 22 years old. Get over it. Right? So we have to also understand that there are people who are still alive who went through the Holocaust. There are Native Americans still alive who were stricken from their land. There are still atrocities. Now, the people who are like, slavery, you owe me reparations. Fuck you people. Every person who says that. I don't, if it's Irish or Chinese who say that, who were also slaves, or white people who were also slaves. I don't care what race, color, creed you are. If you sit here and go, I need reparations, fuck you. Okay, enough time has been removed, because then Christians need reparations from the Romans, okay? All right, the Moors need reparations from the Saxons. The Bolsheviks need we can do this all day. Everyone's been through hardships. My point is some of this stuff is still raw. It's in our lifetime. No generational removal from this. So listen, you and I told you we're both right and both wrong. I'm wrong from the standpoint that this needs to be watched and we need to see what the overall message is. But from the trailer, I'm in complete agreement with you. That's divisive. But we don't know if something's going to come out like C. Thomas Howell in Soul Man as he's in a pimp suit as a white guy eating watermelon and he tells his pregnant wife to go give me some watermelon, biatch, which was also pretty controversial too, but made fun of white people. So it made fun of black people. So we don't know. But on the surface, I think the name is inappropriate. And I think the context that the most dangerous animal in the world is a white person who is nervous around a black person. I think that's pretty abhorrent, to be honest with you. I agree with you on that context. And they tramped on Harry Potter, which is also complete bullshit.
Yeah.
I felt good. We haven't done that before. Olivia, take us home. Put a bow on it.
Really? I already said all my piece.
All right. Well,
pull out your wand and make the magic.
I wonder if Hayden
continue.
still has the Hermione one. We got when we went to Harry Potter World. We got the kids.
We got a Voldemort one over there. I don't know if you've even seen that, Mike.
I don't know. Oh, I got the ones. Have you seen the ones on like Facebook and Instagram where it shoots a little fire? I haven't used it yet, but I have those at my house. So at some point,
no, but you have a Hot Toys 100% lifelike replica sitting in that case over there with Voldemort's wand from Harry Potter. So you should go look at it.
I will do that. I have Snape's wand that I got from Warner Brothers Studios in London. I forget which one Erica got.
Does it have snake venom on it?
I'd have to go look at it.
Does it have fang holes in it where Nagini bit into him?
Got the face. She didn't get the wand.
Well, she got him like 16 times. I mean, she thwacked him a few times. That movie was so sad. Olivia tried to show me the books, and I hadn't seen the movies, and I knew Severus was good in book 2, and she was like looking at me like, what?
What? This guy is horrible.
I'm like, Severus is good. She's like, no, he's not. And then you could tell she's like, son of a bitch. How does he know? Folks, I listen, I think this is a good topic. And you know what I would rather have here is I would rather have a black person here to to see what they think. This is a pretty white panel. And the fact that, what was it, John? Who was it? Who was the guy that said that? Because
Dwarby was.
I thought that was extremely honest and pretty cool to say that. I don't think it's needed. I think that if we're going to sit here and say that the left gets triggered and they cancel everything, maybe we could just stop and let this one go and see what comes of it.
Choose your battles.
Yeah,
that's like raising a teenager. Choose your battles.
I just think that
it is, but they hit Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's why you're pissed.
Like it's Harry
You're not
Potter.
pissed about Whitey and Cracker. You're pissed off at Harry Potter.
No, it's Harry Potter. That's 100%.
Well, you're the one that said. Hold on, let me see if I wrote this down correctly. Hold on, let me get my notes. Hold on.
Oh, you got your notes?
Let me see.
Do we want to go back to your list from earlier too?
I'm going to, dude. You know what's coming, so just take it like a man. Harry Potter was not about race. Let me just underline that. Okay, fair enough. Wasn't about magic either, folks. There was no magic.
There was no magic in Harry Potter.
There was more
Actually,
race.
Harry doesn't do magic for like purposeful magic.
Oh, Wizard Harry.
To like book 3.
Well, he doesn't do purposeful magic, but he does, which would be considered the signs of magic without spellcasting or without a wand. The internal magic that he possesses, very similar to when Voldemort was a young boy. It's still magic. What do you want?
Hayden has something to say.
What do you? All right, hold on. Hayden wants to say something.
No, I didn't. I said, come here and do it. I did. Did I block?
Will you hurry up and say something, or I'm going to kick?
We're talking.
Oh
about
yeah,
Harry
we get over
Potter.
here. You got to do Hermione. Come
Yeah,
here.
we're talking about Harry Potter.
Hey,
You got to do
Mike, listen to this. You're going to love it.
Okay.
I'm doing it
Why?
Whatever, just do it. Who cares? Honestly, the Shure SM7B is probably going to be a better mic. Listen to this shit. You ready, Mike? This is going to blow you away. Get in a character. Hurry up.
It's better when you have curly hair.
Hold on a second. Stop.
Yeah.
Somebody says Lord of the Rings owns Harry Potter because they have the greater than. First of all,
absolutely no.
I would rather
John,
watch,
I will fight you.
I will rather watch. I would rather watch a marathon. It was literally 3 movies of 2 gay miniature midgets dropping a ring in lava. Why didn't we just do that in the first movie and cut the rest of the bullshit out? Okay, dude, Lord of the Rings was good. There's no doubt it was good. The books were fantastic. I'm a huge fantasy fan, but I will take Raymond E. Feist's Magician series and the Rift War saga over the fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy. So fine. So Harry Potter's owned by LOTR.
I would rather watch Twilight than Lord of the Rings. So
that's pretty true. I'd rather watch Twilight because Kristen Stewart's in there. Her nervous twitching. All right, Hayden, Hermione, now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you got to turn around, Liv, because you're making her smile and it's going to screw up her voice.
Now I'm going to bed before either of you two come up with another clever idea to get us killed. Or worse, expelled.
Expelled.
Isn't that ridiculously good?
That is excellent, and that is a great quote. That's amazing.
Now, Hayden, get the hell out of the chair and leave. Okay. Good job.
Yep.
Pound it out. Harry Potter, listen, dude.
Oh, wait, can I ask them one more?
Everybody should know. I mean, I've got, you can't see it. I've got the dark mark on my arm. I mean, I love Harry Potter, but I will just say, I don't think this, just because it's magic, that it's Harry Potter. Okay. I think we should just slow down. If you're offended by that, then you should hate the Nicholas, the Sorcerer's Kid, or whatever the fuck that movie was. Oh, sorry, Hayden. Whatever movie that was horrendous. I mean, that was a leaping pile of Tyrannosaurus Rex poop. Go ahead, Hayden. What do you want?
Okay, so I figured I would ask you guys about this because I need to settle a debate with my friend.
Oh, my Lord.
Marvel or DC?
There's no argument.
I know, but somehow he's putting up an argument.
Do you have something to say, Michael?
It wasn't my thing, so for me, I honestly don't really care.
Okay. You're Marvel. Choose Marvel. Marvel's
no,
better.
I'll solve the debate.
No,
this is a very good question. Would you like to solve from a financial standpoint, from a context standpoint, from an overall character standpoint? Would you like to do the villain standpoint? Would you like to talk about the actual reality of it, or the supernatural side of it? What would you like to talk about? Hey, which one? All
right, we'll see you guys in about 2 hours when that's done.
Shut up, Michael. You're just bitter because we got into an argument. What, Hayden?
Yeah.
Which argument would you like?
Oh, the one with
No, I know, but which one would you like me to make? Financial, context, villains, overall book quality? Villains. Great. Here it is. DC is renowned for their villains. They're fantastic. Their heroes absolutely suck. Batman and Superman are the only quality content. No, Wonder Woman sucks.
Not the movie.
And Superman, listen, Superman is one of the cheapest frickin' heroes ever. It made him too strong. But DC is horrible at storytelling. Character development is shit. Marvel has made billions more than DC. Every DC movie has failed since conception. They've had to revamp and relaunch Batman like 17 times. They can't figure out how to get it right. At least Spider-Man, every single Spider-Man franchise has made money. DC is a failure. I'll tell you why. You ready? Suicide Squad. End of story. Justice League. End of story. Wonder Woman, 1984. Complete dog shit. Okay?
I have one argument why Marvel is better, and it literally destroys everything. And I know you two don't get it because you haven't seen the second season, but Loki.
Okay.
Loki.
Everything that Marvel
one
touched.
show.
Marvel did their horrible stuff. They did The Punisher. They did it wrong. They did Fantastic Four. They had screwed up plenty of times. They're doing what DC is learning now, is that you can't make a comic book movie a comic book movie. You can't make it like a comic, because when you do, it's dog crap. Hayden, get out of the chair. We love you. Leave.
Marvel's better.
Whatever.
Because it has Tom Hanks.
Because it's got a boy. It's the best ever.
Deadpool is an X-Man, not officially. Now, he has worked with Professor Xavier. He has worked with his relationship with Colossus. He has worked with the X-Men before, hesitantly, but he's not an X-Man, so to speak. Okay?
I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds.
DC is not getting better. Please tell me what's gotten better.
Did Mike say DC's better?
Who?
Did
Mike?
Mike? I didn't.
Blank? No.
Oh, no, I said I don't care.
He doesn't care. Okay. The first Punisher was perfect.
Like which?
Which one?
Which one's the first one?
You're talking that piece of shite that was made. Are you talking about the one with Dolph Lundgren? No. The best Punisher that's ever been made was the Netflix series. That was Punisher. Yes. There hasn't. No. Okay. I'm a big Batman fan too. I love Batman. But really, in the end, Batman is is a guy, a real smart detective in hockey pads, okay? With a laryngitis issue. The fact that they even tried to pull off Superman versus Batman was the dumbest thing ever. And then all the nerds are like, yeah, but he's a super detective. I don't give a shit when you can fly at light speed and literally take Batman into space and turn him into a bat-sickle, okay? We're done. 1987 and 2000. No, John, you and I are going to have some serious disagreements. I can tell. You already hit me on the Fila stuff. Now you're hitting me on that Punisher was well done in 1994 and 2000. Whatever. No, we're done. Folks, next segment. This is a whole NerdFap podcast thing, and we can do it, but we're not going to do it now. Next thing we're doing. What were we doing next? Oh, Alex Jones.
Yes, I'm very curious.
Olivia.
Yes.
You don't know who Alex Jones is.
I have no idea who Alex Jones is.
Okay. Alex Jones, and Mike, you know who Alex Jones is. Mike, can you hear us?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah. What happened? Did you change the power?
Oh, yeah. It's dying here. It's pretty quick, so I'm going to let it
can
charge.
you go help him?
Bit.
He needs to get the charge put in, and then he needs to take the mic and make sure that that's put in real quick. I'll set this up. Livy, power has to go in. Audio and video goes into the hub.
Oh, video. He wants it in the hub.
Yeah.
Mike, talk into the mic.
Okay.
Okay, but this one's power.
So audio and video go into the hub. Hub goes into the computer. Power goes into the computer.
Okay.
It's okay. Just hold on. Mike, leave the software and come back in. Leave the software and come back in. Sorry, guys. He's running out of battery on the laptop. All right, Liv, come on. It'll work. 1 second, everybody. Technical difficulties. Sorry, folks. All right. Did he call back in?
I think he's trying.
Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. We'll call this a break. We're going to have a break.
Wait.
Here, you go help him while you play the Jeopardy song. Here he is. Michael.
Okay, I'm back.
Talking to the mic loud.
All right, check 1, 2. You got me?
Yep, you sound great.
Cool.
Perfect. Leave that like that from now on. Just because you sound just as good and you look just as good too. All right. Alex Jones. Okay, everyone's like, Alex Jones has been right more than he's been wrong. No, not at all. My dad said one of the greatest things when I brought him, I read a book when I was 13 years old about Nostradamus. And I'm like, oh my God, Nostradamus has predicted like 126 things. And my dad's like, that's what happens when you make 30,000 predictions. Some are going to come true. The same thing is true for Alex Jones. Alex Jones did not predict COVID. It's a complete bullshit lie. He never used the words COVID. There were many books that came out when he made that prediction, including Outbreak. Sheldon wrote one. There were many Pentagon briefings on possible mass disease like Ebola coming out. That was the main concern. I'm not saying he didn't say that. That's good. He said it great. Okay. Changing the sex of frogs. Okay, folks. Cloud seeding. He said some things that have absolutely come true. But when you have said 10,000 things, there are going to be a few that come true. Alex Jones, and I'll just say it, and I'll just be honest with you. And no, I'm not going to be invited with Laura Loomer, or I'm not going to be invited on InfoWars. Alex Jones is a grifter. This is the definition of a grifter. A grifter is somebody who distorts the truth and lies through criminal means to gain money and take advantage of people. He's been doing it for years, and he's very good at it. I think if Alex Jones, if my son or daughter was killed in a school shooting and some fucker of his stature said that it was a flagged event,
yep,
the shooter and Alex Jones would both have something to worry about. I'm just letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to sit here and say that that's free speech, it's not free speech. It'd be very, okay, I want you to imagine something. I want you to take the worst day of your life. I want you to take the day that you lost your mom, or the day that you lost a loved one or a husband to fentanyl. We have a listener who did. Or Mike, who lost his legs. Maybe not be the worst day of his life. And if I know Mike, I don't think that was the worst day of his life.
No.
Because I know Mike well enough to know that he's not that way. But take the worst day of your life. Olivia, the day you found out you were a racist. Whatever it is, the worst day of your...
Was yours the day you found out I was pregnant?
No, that was the best day of my life. Why would you say something so fucking horrible? I gotta go. I don't know what else to say. I want to apologize for my wife and her.
Well, you think I'm racist?
As a racist, she just doesn't have a lot of couth. I'm sorry, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me
Greatest day of my life. I don't know what. That's just a bad joke. You're gonna pay that off for a while. We're gonna make fun of you because all right. So take the worst day of your life, and then I want you to imagine that some radio jockey who you don't know, who you've never met, laughs or makes up lies about your mom dying, or you losing a baby, or your wife's making innuendos that you weren't happy when your children were born, which is the farthest thing from the truth. I'm a great father sometimes.
I didn't say born. I said when I found out I was pregnant.
We had sex that night after. Okay, holy shit! Talk about this should come out in a marriage counseling event, not on air. So you would be upset, and I'm of the mind that. Words, sticks and stones, but that's not sticks and stones. That's taking an extremely personal event and exploiting it for money. That is not acceptable. I know everyone else has an opinion. Let's watch the video. Mm-hmm. And Olivia, I want you to speak first because I know this is going to piss you off, similar to what you just said about me, the way I reacted to my kids being born. I can't believe you said that. Here it is.
But it took me about a year with Sandy Hook to come to grips with the fact that the whole thing was fake.
You said the whole thing is a giant hoax. How do you deal with a total hoax? It took me about a year with Sandy Hook to come to grips with the fact that the whole thing was fake. I did deep research, and my gosh, it just pretty much didn't happen.
At that point, and I do think there's some cover-up and some manipulation, that is pretty much what I believe. Leaves blowing and flowers that are out, and you see the leaves blowing, and they glitch. They're recycling a green screen behind them. What do you do when they've got the kids going in circles in and out of the building with their hands up? I've watched the footage, and it looks like a drill. But then it makes me think about all these wars and these drones where they say they'll kill 200 people at a wedding, putting little kids to get one bad guy, and that's collateral damage. So don't ever think the globalists that have hijacked this country wouldn't stage something like this. They kill little kids all day, every day. And it's not our government, it's the globalists.
Wow. First impressions are everything, and he's an asshole.
As much of an asshole as when I found out about my kids.
As much as an asshole as I'm a racist, right?
See, now that's what this is about. You're taking it personal. So Alex Jones suffers from being too smart and not learning the finer points of scruples, and there are just some things you don't say. And as a person who has been impacted, both of us, Olivia and I, in at least 3 major shootings, Columbine, the Aurora school shooting, and El Paso Mall, I take umbrage with anyone who makes money off of children. And the fact that he did, I don't condemn him to a life of isolation and perpetual loneliness. I don't think $1.5 billion was a even remotely close to fair penalty for what he did. I think Alex Jones suffers from what a lot of people suffer from, is a very, very bad case of brain to mouth disorder. And that's from somebody who makes a living off of saying shit that is controversial. And I don't say things remotely like that, because this is why I base everything I say in fact, or to the best of my ability, a predictive analysis, and let you know that this is my opinion and fact. He doesn't do that. This man has an idea and he splurs it out. And then his little clones go and say that it's factual. When you have a listenership of this size, you have to be careful. We saw this in January 6th. We've seen this with racial division in this country. We've seen it with the BLM riots. We saw it in the 1970s. You have the ability, when you have an audience that large, to change public policy with what you say. That has a very large amount of responsibility, and he should have fucking known better. And I wish that he wouldn't be a coward. He's apologized, but you hear him now and he's like, I'm done apologizing. Actually,
so he doesn't believe the apology.
No, he absolutely still believes that Sandy Hook was a false event and wasn't real. That's what he I don't doubt that he believes this.
It's just I lost a friend over Sandy Hook. Someone we knew really, really well when we lived in Arizona, and I considered a good friend. And he said some things about it, and I said, nope, I don't want to be involved with you anymore. And I completely cut him out of my life because he was completely insensitive about the whole thing. And Hayden was almost 2 at the time it happened. So, of course, I know she's not in school, but me being a mom and, you know, it kind of hit me with little ones and stuff. But he said that he was more worried that they were going to blame the video game industry and it was going to affect video games than he was about the kids. And it pissed me off. And I mean, it took me a long time to get over what he said. And I still, whatever.
Well, Mike's had bad takes. I mean, Mike was pro-COVID, pro-vaccine, pro-mask, and he's had bad takes. Not this Mike. This is one of our friends. Mike Turgeson, by the way. Mike, you've been quiet. What do you think?
So there was 2 things that I thought about when you played that video. The first one, I wish we could get back to getting away from these keyboard warriors. And when you have a problem with someone or someone says this, you go out back to the shed, you deal with said problems, and then you come out and everything's fixed.
Yeah.
I really wish, if you want to do something stupid as this and say that this is a false flag, cool. Let's go meet. Let's have our discussion like men.
Yep.
And then we'll deal with it from there. But because we've gotten so far away from that and, we have to play nice with everybody and no one has any consequences for what they say. Obviously, I know he had some 1 point whatever billion that he's got to pay for it, which is absolutely crazy. Like, should he have to pay for it? 100%. That number is probably a little inflated.
It's stupid. It's a stupid number.
But this is where it's like, cool. I remember that the father of that the doctor for the Olympics that he was doing all the child. That father, when he was asking the judge, like, give me 5 minutes of room with him. No, give me 1 minute. No, okay, and then he went after him.
Yep.
We need more of that.
Yeah. We do.
That's what we need to get back, so that way people understand. Like, if you want to say something stupid like this, there's going to be some real consequences, and it's not just going to be, I'm going to sue you or whatever. You're going to have physical consequences, and that is what it's going to get us back to. Yes, you can say what you want, but guess what? Maybe think twice about just doing something as stupid as this.
And listen, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike. I apologize. I thought it was a pause. You know how I am. I apologize.
Yep. No, go for it because the next one is a different topic.
Just hold on to it. Can you hold on to it for a quick second?
Yep.
Want to say hi to Dominic Izzo on Instagram. Good to see you here, buddy. We played you got to go back a couple shows if you haven't watched, but we played your wonderful voicemail. I'm trying to figure out what time I can get in to call your show. Here's I am a free speech advocate, and I believe that saying fire in the theater is not illegal. Everyone thinks it's illegal. It's not illegal. Saying that Sandy Hook was a false flag isn't illegal. Saying that Jews deserve to die and Hamas is the greatest, it's not illegal. What's illegal is the aftermath of what you say. And you can say fire in a theater. Every single person in America, in the world, it doesn't matter who you are, you can say it today. I've read the Constitution. I've read every single state law. I've read every single provision. Good night, my son. I love you. Pound it out, G. I've read every single provision, every single law. Dominic's here. He'll tell you that there is no code that stops you from saying fire in a theater. What is supposed to stop you from saying fire in a theater is the aftermath, the fines, the criminal negligence that you display. You'll be held accountable for saying it, but nobody's stopping you from doing it. The difference between Alex Jones is I don't care what he says about some guys in a grove holding sacrilegious and satanic world elite devil worship type shit, and he cracks that code. Good for him. I don't care that he thinks that there is a group of lizard people that drink the blood of children. I don't care about any of that. There's people who believe in Bigfoot. There's people who believe in the Loch Ness Monster. There's people who believe that we landed a B-17 on the moon. There's people who believe the world's fucking flat. That's pretty much every time you go to bed, you can pretty much wake up the next morning and know that the world is not flat. But there are people who believe it. The point is that when you say something that removes the rights of other people for the following: the right to life and the pursuit of happiness, and your comments or your speech removes the ability for people to do that, that is when your right ends and their right begins. So when you scream fire in a theater and it stampedes 300 people and people are stomped and killed, yes, you are going to be charged with manslaughter. You're going to be in charge with inciting a riot. You're going to be held accountable, but you were still free to make that choice. The same thing is true for murder, abortion, rape, incest, robbing a bank, or jaywalking. None of it's illegal until you make the choice to do it. You can do any of it. Alex Jones is an adult. He understands the difference between right and wrong. He said something that he knew wasn't true, or at least believed it, and his psychosis took over. I don't care what the reason is. The moment he did it, he infringed upon other people's right to life and the pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and therefore should be held accountable for it. Mike, last word on this topic.
Matt, well said. So mine is slightly different part of the video where he's saying like, oh, the government is okay with striking weddings just to kill one person. That is factually inaccurate. That was based off of bad intelligence and bad assessments, which that also, and granted, I realize this is a slightly different topic, of the senator was trying to propose allowing illegal immigrants to come in the military. It's because of these waivers and letting people into the military who didn't actually qualify, but they had to get numbers, that puts people who are making these decisions and saying like, oh, this is what it is, and making these horrible assessments, and then lethal actions are taken based off of it. So people need to realize there is so many second and third order effects to these simple decisions, like, hey, let's keep lowering the bar. Let's keep lowering our standards to allow stuff like this to happen. So it's not the government saying, oh, we're fine with just going and killing a whole wedding through people. They didn't think it was a wedding. Let me tell you, they didn't think it was. So this is just a bigger thing of like, we need to understand what happens when we continue to lower the bar and allow these bullshit narratives to go out there and keep saying, oh, this is what actually happened. It wasn't. Like, that's further from the truth. But now we're going to continue to use this as a talking point for like, oh, hey, this is why he's wrong. It's like, well, no, this is wrong. Trust me. The government has done some very fucked up stuff. They have done some stuff that I vehemently disagree with. But guess what? This is all based off of inaccurate information, but yet we're still going to put out there like, oh, look, this is the total truth. Like, no, it's not. Like, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's actually think about these things and stop putting this bullshit out there. Like, it's...
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in a situation where someone came in and wiped out your family, and I don't do hypotheticals, but I've got to do it because this isn't a hypothetical. Someone comes in, wipes out your family, and then you have a Predator drone that can hit the people responsible and a few civilians who are related to the groups of people who are also involved in the criminalities that took place. Maybe not the one that wiped out your family. Would you have any problem using that drone and using a Hellfire to flatten a wedding?
Okay, can you say the party, like the folks that are there?
Folks who are there are associates of the group. There may be even a few innocents. There might be a few people there, but overall, inside that wedding are multiple people who have been responsible for terrorist activities to hit your family, that they died. Yes, there may be a few innocents, probably the reverend, the minister, the pastor, whoever he is.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a few kids in there who didn't do anything wrong. But you have a chance to get this person from stopping from doing it again. Do you have any issue with putting a Hellfire right in the middle of that church?
Yes, I do.
Great. Now, it's war. And you have declared war on that country. Now do you have a problem with putting a Hellfire in that church?
So this is where, have you declared war? Yes. Okay, so the other thing that people need to realize is the standards that I am used to are very different than what would happen when you're actually declared war. If you're under those ROEs, I would say yes. The standards that I am used to, it is still a no.
That is correct. And he is absolutely right in every way, shape, or form. Because rules of engagement in conflicts or proxies are completely different than rules of engagement in war. We haven't declared war since World War II. So everything you're seeing with drones, what Obama did, everything else is a crisis of conscience and wrong. Now, let me also say something. If you're running a drone and you see a vehicle that is ready to get to the wedding, or you're targeting a building that isn't the wedding, which you know there are tangos in there that are all HVTs, bad guys, high-value targets.
Yep.
Are you going to take the possibility of a casualty at a 96% contrition rate, where you only have a 4% chance of hitting civvies? Are you going to take that shot?
Well, I mean,
and are you going to get green lit to take that shot all day long? Great. That's what America did. We were greenlit to take a shot. Intel failed. Mistakes take place. Sometimes it happens. And mosques are hit. Because I'll tell you what, because I'm one of those guys. I have targeted certain areas, high value targets, low probability for civilian casualties, and we've missed. And those strike packages are over my head. And I got to see the collateral damage. I got to see the video. I understand what we did. But there is a very big difference from when people say we bombed a church in Yemen to we had an HVT and we took it out and something went wrong. Intel was bad. Targeting packages was wrong. There are many things that can take place. When you're making decisions from 10,000 miles away, from 20,000 feet up, mistakes take place. And that's with drones. And we were 500 miles away in guided missile cruisers and things went wrong. We were in the Pentagon 7,000 miles away using a TARPS pod or an E2C, squawking and using radar and having a team sitting in a raft lasing a target, and we got it wrong. I want to be very careful with people saying Israel is targeting hospitals. The United States bombed Yemen and bombed churches. You know what? You're right. But context does matter. And the United States and Israel are two of the highest, and I will tell you this from personal experience, and the most conscientious to do whatever they can to limit civilian casualties as possible. But sometimes it just doesn't go that way. And you have never been in the conflict, you have never been in a war, and you have no fucking earthly idea what you're talking about. You playing Call of Duty does not make you a member of MEAL Team 6. You are not a United States Gravy SEAL, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. The rules of war and the rules of engagement and the ROEs, they don't succumb to your lofty fantasies. It's ugly. It's terrible. And death is not the worst thing that can happen. And that's the god-awful truth. Because most of the time it's not. It's a limb, it's an eye, it's a disfigurement, it's a TBI. I can go on and on. Death is not the worst thing that can happen. Okay, I'm going to shut up now, move on from that, and get back to the point that Alex Jones, you can't fine someone for being an asshole. And Alex Jones, most assuredly, what he said, he was an asshole. Does he deserve to pay for it for the rest of his life? No. But if he would have shown a modicum of contrition, authentic apology, Your Honor, I'm not going to defend myself. We don't need to go through this. We don't need to go through court. I was wrong. Whatever I need to pay for those families, my lawyers have laid out what we feel is acceptable, and we would like to add 10% to that. And I will spend the rest of my career and rest of my life making up for this. But please don't remove my ability to make a living. I made a horrible mistake, and I'll do whatever it takes. You do that, Alex Jones would have gotten off with something a hell of a lot less than what he did. But he didn't. He decided to go ahead and be flippant. He decided to go ahead and say shit under his breath, and he decided to walk everything back he said in the courtroom, and that's his own fault. And you know what? He's going to pay for it for the rest of his life.
Yes,
okay?
He is.
Any other comments for that? Wonderful. Does JSOC not gather intel for HVTs? I don't understand the question. That's a double negative. I can't answer. That's not a question. Does JSOC not gather intel for HVTs? How would you like me to answer that? Yes? No? Now what? Ask your true intention. Don't give me a double negative. Does JSOC not gather? I can't answer that. Now, is your question, is JSOC responsible for gathering intelligence for HVTs? No. JSOC's not the only intel collection apparatus for high-value targets. DNS is, DIS is, ONI, NRO, CIA, FBI. I go on and on.
Yeah, there's over 20 something now. So like there's a shit ton of people who are involved.
That's right. The amount of intel gathering capabilities and apparatuses are far more extensive. But if you want to ask me who's responsible for most intelligence now when it comes to HVTs, JSOC executes that. But I wasn't a member of JSOC, and we were responsible for creating intel packages and strike packages on high-value targets. So that would be the Department of the Navy. But I didn't just work for the Department of the Navy. I was NSWAG, so Naval Special Warfare Activity Group. So now that I'm in Naval Special Warfare Activity Group, am I a part of JSOC? The intel community isn't what it used to be. The intel community around 1995, 96 changed. And a lot of people think that the intel community wasn't aware that there were multiple countries who wanted to hit the United States. We were, and we changed our apparatus. We didn't change it fast enough. We were too relied on electronic intelligence and the human intelligence, the actual game of spycraft stopped after the Cold War. And we failed to have NOx, high-value assets, intelligence apparatus from a human intelligence standpoint, and we relied too much on electronics. And we made the switch too late. But I'll tell you what happened in 2011. You saw about $250 billion released from the defense budget, and you saw every single major agency start working on spycraft again and tradecraft and developing assets, turning agents.
They did with a big caveat, though.
Go ahead.
So the problem with that is still each administration will come in and have their big ticket, like, oh, this is what we care about. What do you hear about right now? Russia, China. Those are the two big things. What are they not talking about? Largely terrorism. So the government has finite resources and finite people. So in order to cover the big ticket things that the administration wants, you have to pull people and resources from other things. So a lot of stuff falls through the cracks.
Right.
And that's going to continue to wane back and forth to where we went very hard on terrorism after 9/11. And what did we not cover? Russia, China. So now the pendulum is going back. And that's going to continue to happen because these administrations don't realize you have to keep a happy medium of everything in order to give that full picture to the policymakers, but they don't give a shit about that because that's not what makes the money. They want their big ticket things, their little sliver of the pie that they care about, and not the actual full picture. So
the United States government does not care about a terrorist attack that will kill 10,000 people.
No.
They care about a terrorist attack that will kill 1.5 million people and result in a nuclear war or a World War III scenario. We get intel every single day with threats that can happen in every major city. When people talk about JSOC being tier 1, JSOC is not tier 1 intelligence. I don't know what information you're getting, but you're talking operations. You're talking to people to put rounds down range. Now, JSOC has multiple divisions that are responsible for intel collection and asset gathering, but JSOC is not... There's a limit to what I can and can't say, and there's a limit to what he can't say. And I will just tell you this, is JSOC is tier 1. They're the tip of the spear, just like Team 6 and Delta, et cetera, et cetera. But to assume that they're running their own intel, they're not. There are no team guys running intel. There are team guys who are responsible for intel collection and asset and dissemination during debrief or brief, but that's usually run by an intelligence specialist. That's what I used to do. So every SEAL team out there that is actually operational at this point will have CIA, naval intelligence, and other groups that you don't know anything about involved in operational readiness, target acquisition, HVT, or any clandestine operation that you can imagine. There's intels involved with the teams now. And that's been that way since 96. You can ask me how I know that. So it doesn't matter. The point is this, is the United States government makes mistakes, and they make them more often than not. You guys give the United States government way too much fucking credit. The fact that you 100%. Think they could pull off a stolen election, you're insane. You've obviously never worked for the government. I love when people are like, they planned 9/11. You're an idiot.
No.
From the simple fact that
the amount of approvals that I would have to get and the amount of people that would touch, would get leaked so fast.
You have no idea. We couldn't get toilet paper. We ran out of water below the 32nd parallel. I can't tell you how many fucking times. We were pumping JP5 and diesel from our ship back into the air intake for 30 years on the USS Blue Ridge. You could take a t-shirt and put it at one of the exit vents in the berthing bay and take it off, and it would be black in about 4 seconds. The United States government, you think, is this all-powerful Wizard of Oz, And they are not. They're the flying monkeys. So when everyone's like, stolen election, they did the Maui fires, I'm just like, you've never worked for the United States government. And it's so, and all I would tell you is just join any government institution and you'll know in 5 seconds that what you're saying is completely batshit.
Yes.
Okay. Can we move on?
Yes.
Alex Jones is an asshole.
Can I say?
I also like him sometimes, and I think that he has great conversations, and he has an amazingly fucked up mind. That's what I'll say about Alex Jones. Go ahead, Liv.
I was gonna say that if I was one of those parents from Sandy Hook, I would want to make him pay for the rest of his life. Anyone who's gonna make light of my child's death, then yeah, he deserves to pay that much. And I would do anything in my power to make sure he couldn't say it about anyone else and hurt them like that. Anyone else. I would do everything in my power to get him off air.
I believe you.
And to pay as much money as he possibly could to all of the victims' families. And
I believe you.
I think he deserves to pay for it for the rest of his life.
Nothing like a woman scorned. You don't mess with a mom.
Nope. And that's why he's doing it. And again, if he would have shown a little bit of contrition, then I'd still hate him, but I wouldn't be as adamant to make him pay.
That's
but
my
since
point.
he's not being that, and he's not being apologetic, and he's still saying it and spewing his bullshit, then yeah,
Dude, people called and doxed these people. People called and death threats against them. His little army. This is what happened. Listen, these families, they don't deserve this. They've been through enough. Can I tell you, every day I take a nap, 15 to 30 minutes. And in that nap, my child dies every single time. Don't fucking tell me that it's not the parent's biggest fear in the world is losing their child. My son or daughter dies every nap I take. That is how fearful I am of something happening to them. And I know I can't protect them. And I just pray to God that the numbers are in their favor.
Hayden's school went down on lockdown. She was in kindergarten, and we freaked out. And it was because there was something in the neighborhood or something, and they just did out of precaution. But it was still the fact that it actually went on lockdown.
Yeah, it happens every day. We've got 15 minutes. Speaking of this is another big topic for us. Olivia and I received a letter. And first of all, I want to thank, I love argument. And I love the fact that Mike and I can argue on that movie and then come back and be like completely lockstep on something else. This builds relationships. And once again, I said it in the beginning, I respect your opinion, dude. We're both right. We're both wrong, because from a freedom of speech perspective, we have to defend this. But from the division that it's going to cause initially, if people just watch that clip, I promise you, I am way ahead of this. In 3 to 4 days, there is going to be the left side, which is going to be touting this as the greatest thing since sliced bread, and the right side is going to be saying that this needs to be boycotted, this company needs to be put out of business, and it's going to be canceled by Fox and everyone else. Watch. This thing is going to blow up. There'll be T-shirts made from this.
100%.
Olivia and I, can you walk through the fentanyl thing, what we've heard, and how often this has been happening this year with suicide and also the fentanyl overdoses? Liv, do you have enough of a voice, honey?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay.
Hang on. Maybe not. We are getting letters.
No, you can't do this.
No?
No, you're done.
Jesus.
Holy shit. No, you may not. You are done. I will take care of this. I told you.
Yeah.
This is why Olivia's not talking tonight, because her voice is shut. But she won't leave. I've told her not to come on the show. She's loyal and she's a trooper. She was up at 6 this morning working all day. You got to love the woman. She's amazing, even though she said something completely really bad. So we're gonna.
Everyone keeps telling me to get some whiskey or something.
Well, I could. Right there.
I know. I don't take whiskey.
So we've received probably 7 to 8 emails about ambulances, overdoses, suicides, just this year alone. I think we're at like 12. And every time an ambulance or something like that happens, we get a letter from the school board telling us, I've never seen anything like this. It is terrifying. And this is in our school district. It's our high school and middle schools. These are ours. Olivia and I. We live in the safest place in America. Let me say that again. Where we live, Mike will tell you, this is the safest place in America. It's also the richest place in America with the best education system. We live in the greatest spot in the United States of America to raise a family. And we have kids committing suicide and overdosing on fentanyl and drugs in our school systems. I just did an article in regards to this. An article. I don't know why I went to my accent of Boston.
From Boston.
You can go over to the... By the way, Mike hated our logo at first, but then he said he likes it now.
Hated your...
Yeah, the logo at the top where it just says the dumb. When I saw it, it was just the logo by itself, and I just...
Says
does it say the news?
news.
It's really small. I can't see it right now.
That's what she said.
It's cold outside. The logo by itself and just the lighting with it, it didn't work. But now on that actual page, like I like it now. So I corrected myself.
It's a good back pedal. They've made two arrests, and this was in an elementary school. Let me say that again. This was in an elementary school. If you haven't read the article, you go to dumbshow.com, click on news right here. We are now putting up news, and I'm doing this every day. Mike's going to start helping out, maybe even get Olivia. But they're short, they're simple, not a ton of ads. We will have ads on here, but we're trying to keep it clean. This is in Amherst County, and a child brought some candy in a bag, and the bag had residue of fentanyl in it, high level. And they took two people into custody. Here's their photo of these degenerate pieces of shit. Nicole Sanders and Clifford Dugan of Amherst County Sheriff's Office, who happens to look just like my father-in-law. Oh, my Lord. He looks just like him. So they're being held without bond. Drug possession and contributing to delinquency and the abuse of a minor with a $2,500 bond. Happen to know a little bit about that. I spanked my child on the butt and I got the same charge. This is how much bullshit this is. This charge is ridiculous. They should be facing felonies. They put lives in danger. Mm-hmm. The kids were suffering, this fourth grade class was suffering symptoms of nausea, vomiting, and lethargy after consuming the gummy bears. It's ridiculous. These two people should be in jail for an extended period of time. Delinquency to a minor, it has a maximum sentence of 1 year in jail. They will get off. They will get off, and they shouldn't. The fact that they had drugs in their home of fentanyl level, they allowed a child to repurpose this bag and use it to put gummies in it. You may as well give the child a loaded gun. This type of stuff is 100% unacceptable. Mike, I want to get your take. Olivia, if you can, want to get yours. Would love to hear what you think.
Say, and I got a question because I was like, I'm not a parent, but
yeah, you are. You're right there. I can see you. You're absolutely a parent. Oh, a parent. Oh, yes. Parent. Sorry.
Sorry. Parent. So
I apologize. It's late.
I'm just going off of the nieces and nephews that I have. Why, in anybody's right mind, would you have something like drugs or fentanyl in the same house as your kids? Like, to me, that is mind-boggling. Of like, why would you have something like that in enough proximity? Like, hey, this could actually kill my kids. Like,
right?
Why would you be okay with even having that? Like, that's where my mind goes when I first have this. Like, why are we at that point where like I'm okay with this? Like, we have fentanyl in one room and then my kids in the other room, and it's totally fine.
I understand.
Because I would think usually people like that, their kids are not their first priority. Anyone who's willing to do drugs like that with kids, they're not thinking about their kids. They're thinking about themselves, and they're high.
I think addiction's tough. And I think we have done a huge disservice to this country with not treating mental health conditions the way they deserve to be. And people fall back to alcohol and drugs, and I'm one of them. It's hard for me to condemn somebody who uses drugs and who is a drug addict. I've done that in my life. Until it happened to me, I was very fast and loose with my opinions of other people's inequities. But once it happens to you, it kind of changes your tone. But what I never did was allow it to be near my children. I never allowed them to gain access to it. And I always took the most precaution I possibly could under lock and key. My medicine was locked at all times. And we still have the black box. I use it for my testosterone replacement therapy now. We kept it under lock. And we were very conscientious that any amount of that could kill our kids. However, once again, just because you didn't mean to, like Alex Jones, doesn't mean you shouldn't be held accountable. The moment that they took the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness of those children and parents away, even a possibility of it, they now need to pay the price. They should be charged multiple charges of contributing to the delinquency of the minor, possession of drugs for distribution because they were distributed. It doesn't matter if the remnants of the bag was the only thing distributed. I'm sure Dom can call in and tell us. But even the fact that there were remnants of a drug in a baggie, does that count for distribution? It doesn't matter. Mistakes happen. This isn't a mistake that can happen. You brought poison. This is just like ricin. This is just like making bleach cookies or putting arsenic in the Tylenol. This, you deserve to pay the price. And the fact that that poor kid didn't kill himself doing it, or those other children didn't die, is you're extremely lucky, because you should have manslaughter charges. If any one of them died, manslaughter charges with no equivocation. Olivia?
100%.
Well, if I was one of those parents, regardless, I'd definitely be wanting the biggest punishment, and I'd be suing them. It's just
huge.
I mean, how dare they? I mean, their kid needs to be taken away for sure. They're not suitable parents.
It's a lot. You know, it's easy to pass judgment, and I if one of those kids died, this would not be the same conversation. These people would, like, they would make a fucking movie out of this. So let's not pretend that this was anything by design. This was an accident that these kids didn't die. Officers have died over touching this stuff. I've explained to you, I was taking enough oxy and hydrocodone to kill everyone in my family. Simply. The amount that I was taking was enough to kill an entire room of people. This stuff is dangerous. And your body builds an intolerance to it. And we need to consider that if you are participating in this, you wouldn't allow a child to have a gun. You wouldn't give them a book of matches. Don't give them anything close to this type of stuff, because it's not your kid that's going to die. It's other people's kids too. It makes me sick. So enough. I'm sick of hearing this shit. Mike, it's been a long day for us, man. I want to tell you, I love doing the recorded show with you. If you guys haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's a really, I think, a fun show about what makes a man a man.
Oh, I got to watch that one.
It's a good show.
It's good.
Mike did a great job. He showed up. I failed. My list sucked. Food.
Yes, I would say it was. I was a little nervous about it. I was definitely way overthinking it, but no, it was good. I mean, it's our normal banter that we have back and forth, and then I think our lists, although slightly different, they did mesh pretty well, and they do show all sides of it, and they all come together perfectly to where, yes, we had some differences, but then we were able to come together on a lot of stuff, which is like, hey, you write your list, I'll write mine, and we had a good overall picture.
I thought it was great. I can't wait to do the recorded show with you. Yep. I know Olivia's going to do it next week if she can get her voice right.
Yeah.
She's going to join us for Matt and Mike in the morning, which will be great.
Ooh,
so
there you go.
I found out that it will actually spell mom. So, because she'll be in the middle again. So,
Matt,
Olivia, yeah, funny, right? Okay. Listen, folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. If you have not had a chance, go over to thedumbshow.com. It's growing. We've got a great news section over there, but you can also buy cool shirts like this Spartan shirt or the red shirts that Olivia and Mike are wearing at thedumbshow.com as a member of just being on the show. Dumb 10. DUM10 to save 10%. However, you can save 15%, and that's all future purchases if you join the Don't Unfriend Me group. If you're on Facebook right now, you can look at the bottom. There'll be a little teal, what looks like a shopping bag. If you click that, that'll take you to the Dumb Nation group. In there, we're all in there. We're talking just like we are in chat right now. You get to know all the members. We've got like 65 people in there. I think it's $1.99 a month. You buy one shirt, it pays itself back. So stop on by, subscribe to us, and we would appreciate it. You can find us over on Spreely TV. You can watch us live there. You can find us on Instagram, which is also cool. Thanks for being a part of the show. Head on over to thedumbshow.com.
Head over to YouTube.
Go over to YouTube.
Subscribe. We're at 837. I've given up the dream of getting it to 1,000 by
the
new year.
What?
You don't know that?
Oh, okay, by the new year. But
we had 200 people on tonight. You never know.
You never know, but I've given up the dream. Let's just go for my birthday. Just make it my birthday.
Hold
on, Matt, when's Olivia's birthday?
That's a good question. So I will tell you that.
Once you look at the calendar. Once you look at the calendar.
This
Sorry,
is the
Matt.
Don't
My bad.
Unfriend Me show.
March 5th, 1980. See?
Wow, you got it.
I got it. See?
You had to put the year out there, though.
Mm-hmm. What did I do wrong with that? Did I insult that you didn't want your kids? Did I say something like that? March 5th, 1980. I know your birthday. You're a youngin'. I robbed the cradle. Damn right I did. Look at her. Are you fucking kidding me? You wouldn't do the same thing? I was like, Your Honor, come on. Tell me you wouldn't do the same thing.
Someone told me I look like Kate Beckinsale tonight.
You just look good no matter what. You look like, Olivia, you look like you're 18 years old. You haven't aged a fucking day. And most guys will say that, but I actually mean it. We got to go. We're at 0 hour. Spreely, Instagram. Thanks, everybody. God bless. Mikey. It was a great show, man. Hey, thanks, dude. I really appreciate the work you put in. Oh, where's Amy and Leroy? You guys, I had to be firm. They were both going to come on tonight. We've agreed that Monday nights they're going to be on. They are both full-time employees. Leroy, he is dealing with everything that's going on in the Middle East right now. They need as much support as we can give them. So please do me a favor. We'll watch them on Monday. I've been holding them to it. They try to come on. I'm like, nope, you got one day a week. And then when things like slow down a little bit, they'll come on more. But right now, we've got a great group of people. So just do me a favor. Hang in there. We'll see them Monday night. God bless. Thanks for watching the Don't
Hopefully
Unfriend Me
I have
show.
a voice Monday.
Yeah, you'll have a voice. Good night, everybody. Mike, say good night.
All right. We'll see you.
Peace. See you guys.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.